Hello, Fuse Nation. My name is Alex Fuse. I am the host here tonight, and as always, we have a big show for you. We have the head founder of 518sports.com, Dylan Rossiter. So, Dylan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing very good on this April 7th, 2016, and baseball for the Yankees started 2 days ago as they won today. Andrew Miller got the save, and it's a big day for the New York Yankees. They're now 2-1 on the season, and the Yankees look pretty good. Their offense is coming alive, and they're coming back now in games, and that's something you didn't see in the last few months of last season. So it's a good season for the Yankees so far, even though it's 3 games in, but the Yankees look pretty good, right?
Yeah, you're right. It is only 3 games in, but, they scored those 16 runs last night, which is huge, and they're showing that they can get it done with the bats. I think the pitching staff is going to be the Yankees' biggest worry, but I think it's something they can fine-tune as the season goes on. I mean, it's a long season. Here we are, it's April, and we're, already talking how good they're going to make.
Right. And another team that did not play today due to rain now is the Boston Red Sox, and they signed a star pitcher, David Price. So do you see the Red Sox being a good contender in the AL East this season?
I think anyone really has a shot in the AL East. I think, depending on how, things come about, I mean, it's a long season, like I said, but I think this one's going to come right on down to the end. I think it's going to come down to those last few games in September.
Yep. And high school baseball, I believe there were a few games today, and
few and far between, I'll say, with the rain and everything else that's happened.
Yeah, and Shelmont baseball, as of right now, there is a game against Albany Academy tomorrow, but the weather does not look good for that game. The past 2 games for the Sabres have been canceled or postponed, and it's tough for the baseball season to get started here, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we run the website, and I've seen so many cancellations. We've got little to no content to put online. But, you mentioned Shelmont. How are they looking this year? I mean, I think, in any sport, we see Shelmont always rising to the top of the standings.
Yeah, and thank you for asking me. And I go to Shelmont High School, and I am covering the Shelmont Sabres baseball team. I'm going to all their practices and covering on their games, and the Sabres look very, very good this season. They have a great pitching rotation. The lineup looks very good. Senior Chris Hamilton, the star center fielder on the team, and you got shortstop Jake Defiant on there. And I think, and I said this at the beginning of the season, if any team that could make the playoffs for the Sabres would be this team to win it all this season. So my prediction will be that Sabres win it all this year, and I think they could be the state champions again like they were in 2014 this season.
Yeah, I said it before. I think in any sport, Shelmont seems to shine at that Class B level. Who do you think is their biggest competition? I think Albany Academy. You can make the argument there, but who else do you see as a possible contender here in Section 2 for the title?
Well, like you said, Albany Academy, and Albany Academy is my answer. I don't think there really is that one team that can possibly put Shelmont down, but I think Albany Academy will be their #1 competition this season. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't really pay much attention to the Class Bs, but you mentioned the Shelmont. I've seen the way you guys have been playing. Not the best finish last year, obviously, but I think that the team, this could, anything can happen, and I think the Sabres are resilient. And, I think a bold statement is saying a state championship, but I would not put it out of their realm of possibility.
Right. Yeah, and you have some great players up and coming. You have Alex Capovani, who will be the most likely left fielder when the star pitcher Alex Schlag will be on the mound. You got him in left field and Anthony Pasquarello in right field, and you got a lot of potential players that can prove people wrong this season and making a comeback and getting that starting job come opening day, whenever that will be.
Yeah, you mentioned that now. When you guys actually, start up home opener?
Well, in theory, as of right now, it was supposed to be a few days ago, but tomorrow against Albany Academy at Shelmont as of right now, but the fields do not look that great, and it's supposed to, game time temp, real feel tomorrow is 30 degrees, and it's supposed to snow at 4. So really, my prediction will be is that game will get postponed. Also, there is also a non-league game Saturday against Schenectady High School. That's also another question mark. It's supposed to. I don't know about the weather. I believe it's not supposed to rain, but then you also gotta put into consideration of what the weather will be like tomorrow for that possible game on Saturday. So there's a lot of scheduling concerns in the local area with a baseball season, and a lot of cancellations, like you said earlier. So it's going to be a mess in the next few weeks.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm at least my school, Maple Hill. We didn't have a snow day or a delay all year.
Yes.
And to get one in the middle of it, at the start of April,
yeah,
does damage to every sport.
Yes.
I mean, I know softball hasn't been able to get out there. They had to shovel the track.
Mm-hmm.
Tennis had to shovel, the tennis courts. So it's certainly a mess. The last thing that I think any sport needs right now is more snow. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, the Shelmont tennis team actually got out yesterday for their match. As yesterday when we came into school, there was not one snowflake on the tennis courts yesterday. So they got their tennis match in yesterday, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. At least something is starting to get back on schedule.
Yeah, and the baseball team has been inside the gym all week. So it's been a rough week to really work on and get better inside. So it's tough.
Yeah, and it's not even so much what the weather is going to be, at game time. With all of this moisture that we've gotten, I mean, the fields are just saturated.
Oh yeah.
So even if the game goes on, it's going to be a sloppy one out there for everyone.
Oh yes, and especially the cold weather, as you don't want pitchers throwing in 30-degree weather, and when really you don't have to. Especially now, even though people just want to get the season started, but the question is it worth it to pitch your top guys, in 30-degree weather when you could wait another week to hopefully get up into the mid-50s or 60s, in theory?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I know you'll keep everybody posted on Twitter about it. So
yeah, so
I'm sure we'll know about it.
Yeah, I cover the baseball team on my Alex Fuse Twitter, and also sports_Feuzion, so make sure you follow me on there. And also, Dylan, where can they find you on Twitter?
They can find me personally at 518sports, DRoss, DROSS, and then you can also check out all of our content. It's at Real518Sports, and then for the best high school coverage around, I mean it's the best, it's at 518 Varsity.
Yes, and so you just mentioned 518sports.com. What is that? And I am a part of that team, so I want you to talk about a little about what that is and where they can find that online.
Yeah, we launched around high school football season this year, and we're a place to get anybody, and I mean anybody that is interested in journalism, sports journalism, a place to start, gain experience. For the most part, we're all high schoolers here. And, it's a place where you can, get some skills. You can put something on a resume, I mean, if you're going to school for journalism or communications or anything, it will just blow their mind. And you also get to have a fun time doing it. I love it. I exclusively cover Siena basketball for us. Lots of high school sports. It's really a great time, and you can check us out. It's really simple. It's 518sports.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been actually writing for that website since it started, right?
Yeah, right about that, yeah.
Yeah. So please go check out that, and it's a great website. I read it every day. I write for it weekly too, and I post my Sabres baseball updates also there, and you can also, every article I write goes to sportsfusion.com also, and I want to say thank you, Dylan, for letting me do that as well.
Oh, thank you, Alex. All the content we get, the better, and quite honestly, the more people we have on this team, the better we're going to get. Maybe someday, we'll be as big as ESPN.
Yeah, and especially, and I want to say also thank you for letting me cover WWE WrestleMania 32 this past weekend, and in my opinion, that was the best sports event of the weekend. It was very entertaining, and I loved it, and I want to say thank you for letting me cover that and bringing that aspect to this website also.
Yeah, it's something different. It's something you don't really see out of a lot of media outlets. I can't stand it, to be honest with you. It's horrible to watch, but you like it, and you do a great job covering it, so keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah. And I decided to cover it as ESPN Sports Center, and I have some friends over there, and they started covering it this year, and I said, well, how about we cover it? So thank you for that.
Certainly.
So, okay, Dylan, we will be wrapping it up here on the Sports Fusion episode. Once again, where can they find you on Twitter and also on the web?
My Twitter, it's at 518 Sports D Ross. You can check out all of our content though at Real 518 Sports and at 518 Varsity on Twitter. We're also on Instagram at 518_sports and Facebook.com/Section2News. And then all of our content, everything you might want, is at 518sports.com. Really simple.
Perfect. And you can also find me on Twitter at sports_fusion. Thank you, Fuse Nation, for tuning in. Be sure to go on to sportsfusion.com and 518sports.com. You can also purchase my Sports Fusion t-shirt on sportsfusion.com. And thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, go back and watch all my other episodes. And I will see you the next show.